what happened to meeting people organically?
Listen, I got tired of hanging out in the produce aisle. I couldn't deal with the organics. Everything's organic these days. You know what? I got tired of hanging out in the produce aisle. I couldn't do it anymore. I quit. So I'm on something new.
I got that dish. Dish. I got that dish. I got that dish. That dish.
Hey y'all, it's Onika
And J.R.
and you are dishing with DaintyDysh. Hey J.R., how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm kicking it.
You're kicking it?
I'm just kicking it.
You've been a busy boy lately.
I know. I bit the bullet and went back out into the workforce.
And it just angels cried that day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was sad. It was a sad day.
Yeah.
But that's okay. How are you liking it?
Honestly, it's terrible. Like it's fun. Like I like what I'm doing, but being in an office setting and sitting in, I'm an IT consultant. I mean, that's like what
Jack of all trades over here.
That's what the invoice says. So, but I sit in an IT dungeon. That's what they actually call it in this particular place.
The IT dungeon.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
That's
dungeon.
super sexy.
Yeah, I know. And it's just an IT department. But I mean, I don't know. I miss seeing the sunlight because there's no windows. So I
miss sunlight. That's what he misses at work, sunlight.
Vitamin D. What do you know?
You need that vitamin D.
Yeah, so that's what I miss about that. But I mean, I'm still reading books. Oh, I finished the When They Call You a Terrorist.
Ooh, how was it?
Phenomenal. I get the Black Lives Movement. I understand it now in its entirety, where it came from. Mm-hmm. The books, it's a good read. It covers, mental health. It covers, I guess, the LGBTYQ, that whole movement. It covers that as well. And then talks about, police brutality, obviously, because that was something that went mainstream.
Yeah.
But the book has a Toronto connection as well. I'm not going to give that away. But it was a really, really good read. I recommend it.
Okay, I will put that on my list. My reading list. You've given me a couple of good options, actually.
Yeah.
I need to get on it.
Yeah. So how are you doing? Enough about me.
I am doing well. Saw my therapist today.
Did you?
Told her that I'm quitting smoking. I'm doing it. I know I said this at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'm breathing really heavy, and I'm breathing heavy, and so it's time. And I want to start jogging in the spring, so we're gonna put me on one of those nicotine program things and hopefully get that on the go. But other than that, what's been going on with Onika?
Yeah.
Work's going well. I mean, as well as it can be expected. A lot of hours are being cut. But remember, we talked about that with the minimum wage going up. But it's a lot of vacation days, a lot of free time, me time.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. Free time, me time. I just made that up. Someone else probably made that up. But I feel like I just made that up. So free time, me time, So it's a lot of that going on, a lot of writing. And just anxiously anticipating the release of Empowering Women to Succeed, the LEAP edition, where I will have my chapter and I will finally be a published author. So I'm just anxiously awaiting that, making my final payments. I'm really excited.
Making my final
payments.
Those publishing
fees. They'll get you every time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and the most important part, which is why you asked me the organic question in the beginning of the episode, I, at 35, have decided to online date. And not just any online dating, the serious kind, where I'm dedicating myself to one of the, I signed up for the top online dating site in Canada, which I'm sure based on that statement, you could guess what it is. But I decided to online date.
Yeah. I actually was not there. You told me about it. And I was so excited that I was like, oh, you need to pay for this somehow.
And you offered to pay. So now I'm doing it. I've got like 8 guys in the mailbox, the match mailbox. And, I've got some what ifs and a couple of smiles. but it's going well so far. Like, not well, like nothing's really happening. I thought something more would be happening with it. Like,
Well, you have to interact.
I know. I know. I hesitate to like press I'm like, pass. I'm really picky.
But the thing is, every single person, from my understanding, is actually compatible with you. It's just more of a, are you physically attracted to them thereafter? Like, is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I read what their stuff says. It's just physically, I might not be attracted to that person. So I'll pass on them. I know you've read some of the profiles. You have your favorites. And I sent out smiles. But the nerve-wracking thing about it is, like, some of these people have viewed my profile already, and I've got not a smile back. And that's stress. I know, that's stressful.
Aww.
Oh, womp womp. Boo-hoo.
Muffin.
You can get muff cupcake. Like, couldn't get any smiles back. Oh, no. Yeah, it's only, like, day 4.
I know.
It's, like, day 4. So I shouldn't, like, put the cart before the horse, I guess. But I want to talk today about online dating. I know it's not something that you've ever done.
My only experience is my ex-wife online dating while we were still married.
No, shut up.
That's my only experience.
That's what he just dropped that bar,
That's
guys.
my only experience.
He just dropped that bar.
Well, I'm just saying, that's my only experience. I have no other experience.
I have, because I've done the free online dating and I've done the paid online dating. And I did Bumble for like about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
So I'm actually going to be posting a blog about this. So my Tinderella story is what I call it. And I went on Bumble and I had a really tall glass of white wine. It was great. I think it was bodacious. And I just kept swiping. I think swipe right or swipe left. I don't even remember. But the one it's no good. And I swiped through everybody and they had no more options for me. So I think I broke Bumble.
But you know what it is? Do you ever think that you have the problem? Like, the problem's with you? Like, everyone else is okay, everyone else is really great, but you're just a bad person?
No, I'm awesome.
No, I mean, I
I'm
beg to
pretty
differ,
awesome.
because considering Bumble couldn't find you a date.
Well, I think Bumble and Tinder, though, are more hookup sites. Like, apparently, as you get older, things change and they shift, which is what I've been reading. I, like, did a little read on some online dating stuff just to prepare myself for what I was getting into. And, you know, I had read a fact on eHarmony's website saying that 36% of Canadians are using online dating currently. So it's like it's a fairly popular thing, and it can work, with 20% of those currently in committed relationships. From the 36, that's pretty decent. So I'm like, with those numbers, is it possible? Do I have a chance? Like, could I find the one?
I mean, if you stay committed, I'm pretty sure you could.
Well,
Or not the one, but you could find a one.
yeah, and there's more men online dating than there are women. At least these are Canadian facts. So there's like, what was it, 52.4% of men are online and 47.6% of women are online. So I have a higher shot, right? Well, I'm interested in men, so yeah, that makes sense.
But not all the men might be interested in men.
Oh, you got me there.
What?
You got me there. But I don't know. I think it's just becoming one of those, for me, it's one of those things where I just really take a look at my life and how it's structured.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what comes into consideration when it's like, it goes from hookups to, you know, connections and relationships and potentially marriage. I'm 35 at this point and I'm done school. I'm not meeting people in school. Mm-hmm. I work in a place with majority women, and any men that happen to be coming into my store are coming in for their ladies.
Yeah.
So there's no possibilities there. You know, I do like to explore the city, and I have tried to make connections and friends, but I find people to be very fickle.
Really? I've found the opposite. I just found that, like, I'm doing a lot of things that I just enjoy. I'm going to storytelling readings. I'm doing, I don't know, going here and there and the next, just trying different things that I enjoy. And I'm meeting cool people. Like, you know, I've got a bunch of group chats going of like, you know, when are we going to meet up next to do this? And, you know, like,
friendships is one thing. I'm talking about relationships.
Yeah, but relationships I'm not looking for a relationship. Let's put that out there. But,
No, I'm the only one
the only
online
one.
dating in this group.
but I mean, you got to meet people. If you meet friends, they could introduce you to somebody else.
Somebody else
who
and
could
somebody
be
else.
and somebody else, or you know, like you don't know what happen. You could happen. You just the more people you know, the more you're opening up your pool.
And I
but
can
you're
find
opening
my
up your pool
lettuce
though with your online dating.
200 million
Yeah.
potential.
But like, so one thing I want to know is like, how did your mental health come into this? Like, what are you disclosing things right off the bat? Like, what are you doing?
I'm not actually. I did put that I was passionate about mental health.
I think I glanced
Yeah,
at that.
you glanced at that in the profile. I put that I was passionate about mental health.
Yeah, you asked me to read it. I didn't.
I
read it.
put, no, I know you skim. You're a skimmer. And then I put my sanity and my therapist as 2 of the 3 things that I can't live without. So they obviously will
nice.
know that I'm a couple screws loose short of a bunch. So they should kind of figure that out from those like little slip-ins. But as I said, I went to see my therapist today and I was talking to her. I told her I'd made this decision, and she and I had been working on, we've been working on post-traumatic stress disorder treatment from my sexual assaults. And that played a huge role in the last little while of me not dating and not wanting to be around men and having this like deep-seated kind of like sort of resentment / like just dislike of that gender.
Yeah, if it wasn't me, you were really like...
Yeah, I was really had my hate on.
Yeah.
Had my hate on. And then I realized that they can't all be bad. I mean, I have dated a little bit in an more organic way. When I was working in the summer, I met someone and we went on a date or two.
Did you meet at Whole Foods?
Huh?
Did you meet at Whole Foods?
We didn't meet at Whole Foods. We met at a restaurant, so food was involved. But yeah, so and then I went on a date with that pizza guy. But I mean, that should tell you everything right there. He's a pizza guy. Like, come on. I'm sorry. Like,
you're putting that out there?
I'm putting it out there because it just was such a shit show of a date. And that's kind of also what led me to make this decision, because I did meet someone organically. I met him outside the subway, for heaven's sakes. Like, you don't get more organic than that. And then, you know, things were going right. And then all of a sudden things went left. There was like a kid that I found out about. And then there was his whole life story about like, you know, I'm a pizza guy. I don't know what to do with my life. And I just didn't want to take that on. You know, I'm trying to find someone who's together. And with this website, they vet you. They are vetting you hard. Like hard.
Are they? Like,
they're vetting you hard.
Like what was the questionnaire like?
It honestly, cousin Kim called in the middle of it, so it kind of messed up my whole questionnaire a little bit, because I said I didn't like travel, but I do actually want to travel. Like, but the whole process of creating this profile was so stressful. Like, I didn't have you here, and I feel like I should have waited until you were here to do this with me. There was actually a fact saying that, like, I can't remember the percentage of people often do their online profile with friends or someone they know, right? For them to vet the answers, right?
Yeah, are you lying?
Yeah, and it says the same facts from eHarmony was 53% of people lie in their profile about their age, their height and weight, and their job and income. They didn't ask about job and income really, and I didn't lie about my age. I'm 35. Like, but they're also saying that people peak at 21 and that 26 is the age where women get pursued the most.
People peak at 21?
Women peak at 21.
Women are milk. Men are wine.
Women are milk and men are... Like, and then 48 was the number they gave for men getting pursued.
See, look, turning into wine right now.
So what am I? Like, I'm like...
spoiled milk. You're like yogurt.
Spoiled. I'm yogurt.
You're like cheese.
I'm like cheese?
Yeah, blue cheese.
Like blue cheese?
Yeah, you got mold on you.
Oh no, I'm never going to find anyone. This is not good. This does not bode well. But I think, yeah, a part of the reason I had made the decision also was talking to my dietitian. She actually met her husband 12 years ago on Lava Life. Remember when Lava Life was a thing?
I don't know. I don't even know what Lava Life is.
Oh, well, you're clearly a millennial. It's like a 35 and up type of, like, maybe you'd remember if you were a little older. But yeah, okay. Lava Life was like one of the first, and Match.com were two of the first like online dating services, from like transitioning from that like 1-900 period that people used to be in. That was dating back then for some people. So it transitioned to Match. It transitioned to Match and Lava Life. And she met her husband on Lava Life. And her sister also met her husband online. And I've heard some success stories. So I was like, you know what? Why the hell not? Why not give it a try? Why not face some of like my bigger fears? Because these are strangers.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with online dating. I may do it in a year or two. Who knows? Like where my life is. But yeah, I just like shitting on you because it's fun.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, because you're a loser. Because you said I'm never gonna online date. I'm too good for online dating.
I never said that I was too good for online
you.
dating. I just think there's a lot of scary, creepy people out there online, and I think I've, thanks to you with your kindness and help, have gotten at least to a website where they're a little less creepy.
I've always said you got to pay for the things you want.
Because I'm not like on Plenty of Fish. You know what I'm saying? Like
you got to pay for quality.
Like I'm not POFing here.
Well, think about it.
I've gone big or gone home here with this one.
If I wanted a long-term committed relationship, I'd go on whatever that one is you called. What'd you call it? eHarmony? eHarmony, yeah. And I pay that shit is expensive. It's not that expensive, but there's a barrier to entry. There's a barrier to entry that a lot of people that aren't committed aren't going to pay. Especially men, which is cool. So then the men that are there are serious, right?
Yeah,
so
they're serious.
That's neat. And the women that are there as well are serious as well because they're just looking for a serious guy or whatever your heart desires.
What do you feel about the ageism?
What do you mean the ageism?
Why are women peaking at 21?
Because now I'm 33. Don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
You asked a question.
I did.
Okay. Because now I'm 33 and I've been with a woman who was, I guess, 2 years younger than I am. I was. Now I can spot the crazy at 26, right? I can spot it like a mile away. So now when I spot it, I can find it and I can be like, nope. And then grab her. Because that 26, 25, 26-year-old age is just that's that age where women they're just ready. They look ready and they're just hungry.
They're ripe. They're ripe. They're no longer thirsty. They're ripe.
You guys are like you ladies just like sometimes you just that age is just that age where you just sometimes
we want to settle down.
It's the Hollywood age where you're supposed to settle down, right? So sometimes we get like we talked about that in our episode. I don't remember the name of the episode.
The rom-coms episode?
Yeah, rom-com episode. Yeah, that one. So I mean, it's just you hit this age and you think that you wanna.
That's your peak.
That's your peak, and you want to get married at that age, and you might have a biological clock thing, going in and out of your mind, right? So you kind of might want to have kids by the time you're 30. So that's the age that you start saying, I'm gonna start peacocking. That's your turn.
Yeah, peacocking. I have 4 best friends, and they all got married between 26 and 27, 26 and 28.
So I'm thinking that's just prime peacocking age. That's all it is. It's just you get to your peacocking prime at 25, 26. That's it.
Another thing I noticed on the site that I'm on, there's a lot of white people. And I'm okay with that because I like white guys.
Well, Canada's got like 36, 37 million people. I would say at least 30 million of them are white.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, like, where do you?
No, but I said, black and white. I'm not really 50 shades. That's just how I feel. I like black. I like white. That's what I like. So that's what I put down on the profile. And I've been getting like a lot. Like there's the one black guy I did get.
Okay, you're going there. Okay.
The one black guy I did get, like he took a terrible profile pic. Like he had a hat on and you could just see like inside of his nose hairs. So I'm like, how am I supposed to know if I'm attracted to you?
But you did like that Asian guy as soon as you realized he was like 6 feet.
I did. I did.
Because you were like, it was amazing because you looked at him and you're like, he's cute. And I'm like, he looks like he's tall. And then you kind of bypassed him, like, click on it. You click on it and 6 feet. And you went, ooh.
But my dietitian knocked him out because he's from London. She's like, no, you need clothes. I've got like 3 advisors. She did the online dating thing hard. She's like, it's a lot of work, and it's like you gotta go in, and it's a job. And she ended up, as I said, finding her husband online on the Lava Life. So she was telling me, she's like, no, you don't have a car. What if he doesn't have a car and he lives like so far away? She's like, 30 kilometers. Click that, not the 60-kilometer recommended, 30 kilometers. Like, keep it close. She's like, you work, he works. When is he going to have time to see you? So yeah, I'm getting a lot of really good because people do this.
The pros are telling you how to
conduct myself on,
like
on online dating.
How to catch a man.
How to
without water.
Without being too thirsty. No, but it's just, and it's one of those things where I can see myself in an interracial, like another interracial relationship.
Oh yeah, I did it.
You did it.
Yeah, did it. No big deal. I think the big deal. Oh, are we good? Is that where we're going now? Interracial relationships?
I thought we would touch on it.
Okay, cool.
Because I will probably end up in an interracial relationship.
Okay, cool.
Sooner or later.
Okay. I mean, I think they're fine. I mean, the bigger challenges are the families, the relatives. Those that ultimately is the biggest challenge. My thoughts have always been, well, my relatives are going to be dead and gone in a few years, and so I don't care what they have to say, and I'm just going to do what I want. But sometimes it's not that simple.
Because it's not just intolerance from family. It's intolerance from people in general that you experience. Like, it's not just family members. There was an article in the Globe and Mail talking about how tolerant is Canada of their interracial couples. And they don't even have facts. Like, Stats Canada hasn't done, and this is from, it's a 2017 article. Mm-hmm. They haven't done stats on interracial relationships since 2011. And at that point, there was only 360,000 interracial relationships. And that had doubled over 20 years, they'd said.
That's a lot.
But the number remains, it still says it's slim with only 5%.
I don't think some people don't want to be in them, and that's fine and that's cool. Like, it doesn't mean anything. I don't think that's a stat that really provides
like
value.
To me, it's just, I've been in an interracial relationship. You know, you've been in an interracial relationship. I was with a white guy.
Yeah.
I found that when I was with a white guy, it was still those common things like the stares or the comments when we were on the bus, nasty looks. Like, I think Canada likes to feel and think that they're multicultural, and they have those, like, that rose-colored, everyone loves everyone, like, thing. I just don't necessarily, I didn't feel that in my relationship. It was only one relationship, and I was in a very concentrated white area. I was living in Ajax at the time. So who knows what the tolerance level might have been in that relationship had it been in Toronto. You know, it could have been different. I
don't think anyone would have cared here in Toronto.
Yeah, no. Things are a little bit different when there's a concentration when you're in somewhere like the suburbs. And it was very clear that, you know, when we were shopping or when we were eating out, when we were on the bus, like, we were always getting these, like, it was polite. Mm-hmm. But it was still...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's also, I would say, more odd to see a black woman with a white guy, and as opposed to a black guy with a white woman. Yeah. So that might have been, it just might have been something new. People were confused. I don't know. It's not new. That's ridiculous. I'm justifying. You are
a little bit justifying. I'm justifying. Like, maybe it's new.
No,
it's not new.
Shut up. Julian, shut up.
It's not new. People we just would like to think there's tolerance when in certain cases there is not tolerance. And then we also have to look at how we're being portrayed in the media.
Oh, that's huge.
Like, come on. I'm going to use Scandal as my number one example. Olivia Pope and the president. Like, black woman, powerful white man. Like, it just was one of those, it's called Scandal. And I don't think, part of me doesn't feel it's because of the way the show is being presented, where she's having an affair with the president. A part of it, when I used to watch the show, always made me feel like it was the race. Yeah. It was that she was a black woman and he was a white man.
Yeah, that's the
you
scandal.
You always feel that's the scandal.
That's the scandal. Every president cheats. I don't mean that.
You don't know that.
I mean, that. But I mean, it's one of those jobs where you can.
Where you can, easily. And you probably do, is all we're saying about the American presidents, except for Barack.
Oh, he was solid.
Except for Barack.
That guy went in, not a scandal for 8 years.
Not a scandal in sight with Barack.
Yo, that guy
Michelle and Barack are solid.
They killed it.
But yeah, like I always find when I see, and it was the same thing because Shonda's been doing this a lot. God loves Shonda Rhimes, but with her shows, making them more racially diverse and making them more black centric is essentially what for me, it feels like she's doing.
I think that she's just introducing
strong black
lead characters.
Characters, and now we're finding they're women too.
Mm-hmm.
And in her other show, How to Get Away with Murder,
mm-hmm.
you see Viola Davis, who is traditionally not considered, and she has said this in her past before, a beautiful quote unquote black woman.
I have no idea who you're talking about or what show you're talking about.
She in this show, because she was married to a white man, she took off her wig in front of him. Now, when I think of doing something like that, I don't wear a wig. Mm-hmm. But I wear my head tie most of the time. When I'm surprised I'm not wearing my head tie right now, but I usually wear my head tie because my hair is not done, and I don't like people seeing me without my hair done. When I was in the relationship with the white man that I was in the relationship with, I never was around him without a head tie. That to me was one of those things that he wouldn't understand my black hair. He wouldn't get my black hair. Like, don't put your hands, don't run your hands through it. Don't do this. He wouldn't get my black hair. And that was always like, he'd have questions about certain things. And I always felt like I was explaining my blackness to him. Like, it was a very weird, sometimes dynamic with him. And I often fear that that's going to happen in any other interracial relationship that I'm in.
In my relationship, it was the one where the conversation where I was trying to explain to, my ex-wife and her mother about being a black child and what it was like for me growing up where I couldn't wear a hoodie, playing in this. There's a good TED talk that has this conversation. I can forget what it's called, but I could probably find the link and throw it in the bottom of the page. But it's just when you grew up as a black child, you need to have a strong black father to kind of guide you and explain. I explain things to them like being stopped by the police and what that's like, and when I was saying, are you prepared to have a child that has to have these things they might have to go through? And it was just like I was constantly having to educate what it's like to be a black man in the world.
Yeah, it seems to be just constant education.
But I think it comes from people just not caring, one, because why would you care? And
it wasn't in their sphere of
I mean, you watch,
needing to know.
You watch BT and you see, that foolishness.
Thug Life, and you assume that's what all black people are like.
About. There's no more, positive. There aren't many positive roles on television, except there's a new show called Blackish. I've heard.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've heard that it's
really
pretty good. I haven't
Grownish
seen it.
is a spin-off.
Of
Blackish with the daughter. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like my ex asked me if my hair was real. Like,
yeah, but see, the thing is,
it was one of those moments where it was like I had to just laugh it off because like I know he didn't mean any harm by it, but it was still. I had to educate him on being black. I had to educate him on being in an interracial relationship because oftentimes and he's the first white boyfriend I've had. He's not the first white guy I've slept with. But so I didn't have to educate the ones that I'd slept with. Mm-hmm. It was just whatever that was. With him, I actually had to educate him on what it's like to be with a black woman. And I think it was very difficult for him to understand some of the challenges that I face. Because not only am I a black woman, I'm a black woman with mental health issues. Mm-hmm. So there were several different, things going on there in the relationship. And I found it very challenging. And I think that the time that we live in today, yes, interracial relationships are happening, but that doesn't mean there's a decline in racism. That doesn't mean racism is declining.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There was that I'd read about in one of the articles, the Cheerios commercial, where they had the black dad with the interracial, like the mixed daughter, and the white wife. Mm-hmm. And there was so much apparently backlash. I remember when that commercial came out. I remember that Cheerios commercial was maybe like...
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Sorry, I don't mean to reference things you don't know about, but it was...
No, it's okay.
It's about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe less, but it was during a time where you think we'd be progressive enough to have a white man or a white woman and a black man with a child.
Are you forgetting what we talked about earlier? There's 37 million and over 30 million of them are white. Like you're gonna have some people that have some differing opinions out there with that. I mean, yeah. But I want to talk about something that's like good that comes with like interracial relationships.
Sorry, I'm gonna go good. I'm probably gonna be in an interracial relationship.
So I'm gonna go with something that I found that was really good is the fact that I've learned to cook so many different types of food from the women I've dated, their mothers, their grandmothers, and even my former mother-in-law. The food I've learned, it's crazy. I've learned to make roti, like the real roti, you know, with the chickpeas and everything.
Oh Lord,
like
you
everything.
Them Southeast Asian tips.
And then what else? I learned to make pasta. Like
you're like on them Southeast Asian tips, like that spicy food.
But I've also learned to make jerk chicken, like really good ones. So like it's you learn. I also learned how to make ribs, even though I don't eat pork anymore. I learned to make a good
I got ribs in my fridge right now. I might have that for dinner.
Oh, that's cool. Enjoy that.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, food, like, come on. Like, it's one of the best things ever. Like, you get to try all these different foods.
Not with white people. Sorry, guys. I said it.
I don't know. See, the thing is, you got to take that back. You can't say that. I can't say
all white people. That's too generalized. That's too general. So in this particular situation, again, I'm referring to my ex. Oh, hamburger helper incident. Oh, the hamburger helper. I've told you this story. I'm going to tell it again. But I have always in my life wanted to try hamburger helper. It was a dream of mine. It was like that. And I'm going to be weird, guys. I'm going to be weird for a second. I've also always wanted to try dog food. I will never try dog food, but I've always wanted to. When I was a kid, I used to ask my mom about it. But I've always wanted to try hamburger helper. I went to his family's house on New Year's Eve, and they made hamburger helper, and I was excited as shit. And then I actually tasted hamburger helper, and it was the most disgusting. It had nothing. I know the family might be listening. I know they might be tuning in. I love you guys still. I love you, fam. But hamburger helper, I don't know. It just was terrible. It was so terrible. And I find when I go over to a white home that's not necessarily Italian.
Wow.
That's like more Scottish English. I'm not partial to the food. It doesn't sit well with my belly.
I don't know. I'll eat anything. I'll try anything. But the experience
Would you try haggis?
I do Robbie Burns on a regular.
Haggis?
Robbie Burns Day, January 25th. I mess with the haggis every year. It's the only time of year that I eat meat, man. I'll do that Scotch bonnet egg, yeah, and the haggis. Yo, that's like there's like 4 days a year that I eat meat, and that's one of them.
I thought haggis was gross. Is it good?
It tastes. You ate hamburger helper, okay? So let me let me tell you, okay?
No, but you can live with them, but can you live with their food? And I couldn't live with hamburger helper for the rest of my life. I couldn't do it.
I had the experience with my ex-wife Kraft Dinner. So I never had Kraft Dinner, and I was like, I want to try this because my mother would not bring that stuff in the house.
Our parents would not.
None. Like you want macaroni cheese? Here's a macaroni pie. Eat that.
I'm lucky I got stovetop stuffing. So
no, none of that. I'm
lucky I got stovetop stuffing, which I love.
My mom messed up one day, and when I the only thing I got at home, I begged her one day to buy shake and bake. And that was the most disgusting thing on the face.
Shake and bake is so nasty.
That was disgusting. And like they had the bag, and we were doing, and it was like
it's the American solution to quick like fried chicken, and it's so gross.
Give me some flour, like give me some, I don't know, some buttermilk or something. I don't
know. The food memories.
Yeah. So you can, I don't know, like I find sometimes it's interesting though, because I mean I tried it. It was cool. It wasn't something I would go crazy over, but I checked it off the bucket list. I tried KD.
The thing I love about interracial relationships, I just like the idea of everyone just blending to the point where there isn't any color.
And that's what's going to happen. And
that's because we all have something in us. Like we all have some type of mixture.
Don't get me on this Ancestry.com thing. Okay?
No, Lord.
During the night, I was so excited. I'm like, I'm signing it up, and I signed up, and
no, we are slaves.
We are slaves. There's nothing.
We are of slaves. They didn't keep records for us, honey.
None.
But I like the idea of the blending, and where there's no color anymore, and you don't see color, like mixture, and like I think that concept is really beautiful. But will it stop racism, race wars, race issues?
It might even just create an elite race.
Elite race,
Yeah.
which, I mean, we might not want that either.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that I learned a lot about Duck Dynasty, and I learned a lot about Pawn Stars, and I learned a lot about how it's made. When I was in my relationship, Discovery Channel and the History Channel were like on point, real all the time.
Oh,
So
I dig those.
I
Yeah.
appreciated that about him. That he was always willing to learn, and he was always willing to like teach me something new, even though I didn't think he had much to teach me. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't, but he did.
Yeah, because you're not the center of the world.
Oh,
You aren't
whatever.
the smartest person in the world.
No, not smartest person in the world. I never said that. There's much smarter than me.
You're just up there. You're like,
Just sometimes in the room. That's all.
it's okay being the
sometimes
dumbest
in the
person in the
room.
room with a bunch of smart people, okay?
Yeah, that's okay too.
It's okay.
That's okay too.
I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room, because if I am, I'm in the wrong room.
True.
Had to get out of one of those rooms.
So, final dish
Yeah, what's your final dish?
on. We're gonna blend them. We're gonna do dating apps and interracial relationships
And their food.
their food.
The strange
and
foods.
their strange food. Final word on dating apps. I've been doing it for 4 days, and I've seen 0 results. So I'm not too sure if it works or if it doesn't work. That's number 1. Number 2, if it does work, it's probably going to be interracial. I'm leaning towards Southeast Asian. I've got a couple Caucasians in there as well. I've sent some smiles. Haven't gotten a response back yet, but I'm okay with it. But if you do end up dating me and you happen to be Caucasian, please make sure that you have takeout on point, on call all the time, or you can cook a really decent Caribbean meal.
And you're okay with pizza.
Oh, and I love pizza. I ordered pizza 3 days in a row last week, so I don't care. I love Domino's. I'm getting fatter by the second. Who cares?
You gotta order Pizza Nova.
Pizza Nova, is that where it's at?
That's,
I like Mama's Pizza.
They're I would
On
keep
point.
they're
They're
in
on
the same
scale.
room. They're in the
They're on
same room.
scale.
They're in the same room. They're in the same room.
But there's nothing like a good
Actually,
$11.99 Domino's pizza.
Pizza Gigi.
Pizza Gigi?
Yeah, they don't deliver
Okay.
here. They don't deliver.
They don't deliver in the ghetto.
You had it at my place
In the
though.
ghetto. Pizza Gigi's?
Yeah, when I was downtown, I was in the annex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but that was the dish of the day, I think.
Okay.
You're like, cool. What else? No, that was the dish of the day. JR, if any of you guys have any advice for me on my new journey that I'm taking through the online dating world, please do send me an email. I would love your words of encouragement and any advice that you might want to give me about my profile. So JR, please tell them how they could reach us.
You can reach us at what's our email address? dysh at DaintyDysh.com. You can check us out on Facebook. Page is called DaintyDysh. Check out Onika on OnikaDainty.com. What's on there right now?
I've got a pretty interesting piece that came out today on being locked away in a hospital. So lots of blogs, lots of poetry, lots of journal entries.
All right. That's it for where you can. Oh no, Instagram, best of Onika, best of JR. And then also it comes down to thank you for listening this week. Please subscribe on YouTube or Apple Podcast or whatever platform you're listening to us on.
Rate us 5. We deserve
Rate us a
5.
5. We really appreciate. Thanks again for listening. You are our favorite.
Yeah.
Well, you're my favorite.
We love you. We love you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I hope you have a very, very happy hump day.